In this video, I'll share with you how you can, and actually why you should, use the Fibonacci tool to draw your value channels. This is thanks to someone in the Discord group. They mentioned how I could use the actual Fibonacci tool to actually draw these value channels instead of drawing individual lines and rays. And this is much more effective, you'll see here in this video. Now, if you don't know what value channels are, there's a link down in the description to a video where I explain in full detail what value channels are, why I trade off them, why I actually use them. It's part of my trading system that I've developed. So you'll definitely want to check that out if you're not familiar with what value channels are. You're seeing here on Zil, I have a value channel drawn with the Fibonacci tool. Now, I am not saying Fibonacci is bad. I just, for my own trading style and for my deep analysis of using Fibonacci and everything else, I just found that it did not work as reliably for me as value channels do. So I'm not saying Fibonacci is bad. I'm just saying for me, I just didn't find it as helpful as drawing value channels like you see here on the chart. And you're seeing on this actual chart here with Zil, we're seeing price trade around some of these key levels of this value channel. That's why I think it's very powerful to draw these. And probably the best way to show this is, let's go to a new chart. Let's go to EOS BTC, which I have been slowly scaling into positions with the expectation that there might be a run here, especially if BTC finds a little bit of stability or maybe a little push to the upside. So there's no value channel here. And typically what I would do is I would use the actual, what is called the parallel channel tool. And then I would draw a value channel like this, and I would then put it like this. And I would only have a center line here. And that's pretty good. You're seeing that price did stop around this range, and then it got rejected, and then it moved up from here. So that's a pretty good indication. You would then put sublines in here to find some good trading ranges. The challenge with that is that it's hard to do. It takes time. So if you use the Fibonacci tool, and I'll show you how to edit this here in a second. This tool is located here. And if you go to the Fib retracement tool, and I'll draw the same value channel. And we'll just drag this down. And you'll see right away at the midpoint, we have the same midpoint. So this red line here in the middle is the midpoint. But we're also seeing now we get more indicators where price will potentially trade around, where support and resistance will play a role. And we're seeing that right away. Here is a definite support range. It bounced from there. And then here, it had rejection from this low point here. And then here, we're seeing right here at this range, it had rejection. It did eventually, or well, push through there, but then it's having rejection now. And I'd expect as it continues to move up, if it does, we'll see a heavy fight at this price range here. And then down below, we're seeing some rejection here. So I'm not really trying to prove that value channels work. I'm just showing that using this tool makes it extremely helpful to find additional support and resistance ranges. So how do you edit this? It's real simple. You'll want to use that tool and then go to edit, and you'll have to change the numbers. And you'll want to start with 0, and I'll put this information down in the description as well. But you want to start with 0. The important part is that you make sure that you have a 1 over here, and this is the top line. And you'll see that I've color coded these lines individually, so I know what ranges they are. And then you'll want to end with, so you'll have a 1 here, a 0 here, and then end with 0.875. I did a couple other things as well. You'll see that I extended the lines. So when I unclick this and click this, the lines will get extended to the right. I like that. I also removed the levels. So the levels aren't as helpful when you're just using this as a value channel. And I have included the prices. So having the prices here for me gives me the ability to look at this and see if it's around round numbers, and to see if that's a potential psychological number that might have price rejection or price support. The other thing I did is you could here have the colors there, but I made that completely transparent because I want to see the price action in between the ranges. Now let's talk about doing a diagonal value channel. And if we go to the 4 hour and we'll draw our diagonal value channel, and we will grab another tool here called the Fib Channel tool, and I'll draw that here just roughly. Now I did something a little bit different with this tool, because typically on upward diagonal moves or downward diagonal moves, these aren't as big. So having these midlines drawn here will clutter the chart way too much, but it is helpful at times to have that, and I'll show that here. If we go here and click edit, on these midlines here, one of them I don't have, but on one of them here, I've just made it so it's very dim. And you'll see as I make it a little bit brighter, you'll see that it holds up. But if you make it a little bit dim, it's still there. You can still see it, but it actually gives you the line and it doesn't clutter up the chart. Now I can see these visually, and even on some charts, this is something, I don't draw these a lot because value channels have been part of my trading system for quite a while. So I can see these visually. I could print out charts and see value channels and see where things are and just see them within my mind, so to say. So I do still draw them from time to time, but a lot of times I'm trading off value channels that exist there, but they exist this is in my mind, so to say. It's kind of a bad way to say it, but they are there. I'm not drawing them in my chart because I can see them. Same with these midpoints. So I can see these midpoints, and if we look at price here, price is getting rejected at some of these midpoints. This midpoint here, this midpoint here. So you can barely see it probably in the video, but price is getting rejected and trading around those midpoints. So these do hold up. So whether or not you draw them or not, visually seeing them is important. And this tool, like I said, is the same numbers. It's 0 to 0.875. You want the one here. I typically put red on either side of the channel, so you know that that's the end of the channel or it's the middle of the channel. The middle of the channel is typically the strongest point of the channel in addition to the tops and bottoms. So I typically have those red. And that's all. That's really how to do this. I can't really add any more to this. If you want more information on what a value channel is, definitely check the video down below. There's links down below to other tools that I use and the Discord group, so you'll definitely want to join us on the Discord group. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.